Hi everyone, I'm Shauna and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the worst beauty products of the year. And I'm saying beauty because I do have classic makeup products in here, but I also have some skincare and other beauty things in here as well. So I want to just jump right into it and talk about the beauty items first. I'm going to talk about these foundations first. The It Cosmetics CC cream, I have both the oil-free matte version and I also have the regular version, but I'm just holding up the matte version to talk about. I panned both of them this year and I just don't think that they're a good foundation. The matte foundation is the worst of them all. Probably no, the matte one is worse because it says oil-free matte. It is not matte at all by any stretch of the imagination, and this is just false advertising, which is so frustrating for a brand to call their product matte and then it not be that, or just any brand to call their product one thing and it just not be that thing at all. And the color on this sucks, by the way. It says it's light. In what world is this light? Look at these are practically the same color. This was very disappointing, but I'm glad I only have a mini. And if you can't tell, Sassy Shauna has come out to play. Another bad foundation is the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. I tried so hard to make this work at the very end of last year. Like, I got this in December. So it's in this video because I wore it in 2021 mostly. This is so bad, not because it makes my skin oily, but because it makes my skin texture look horrible. It makes me look like I have dry patches. I basically have no acne at the moment. None. And that's the kind of thing that would make my skin be dry or look dry. I have no dry patches on my face at all, and this made my skin look so incredibly dry. It just makes the texture look horrible. And the thing about this is when I bought this, I watched reviews from people with my skin type, and I was seeing that as a problem mostly from people with dry skin. But after kind of coming out of the haze of like really wanting to try this product, I realized that everybody or people who have all different skin types, they all hate this product for the exact reason that I'm talking about. I'm sure somebody somewhere likes this, but it's like you have to have perfect skin in order to wear it. And like, I'm not down for that. So no. I have a couple of petty products in here, but like, it's my video, so I'm allowed to be petty. If you watched one of my recent videos, this is the e.l.f. Camo 16-Hour Wear Concealer. Last year, this was in my favorites of the year for the face. I don't think I will ever buy this concealer again. This has fallen from grace because this looks so bad on the eyes. It makes my eyes look so dry. The shade range on this is crap because this is called Fair Warm. This is white. Like, this is essentially white. All like the color range on this is wacko, and it looks horrible under the eyes. I would run from this. Like, I would never buy it. I'm now wondering, like, I'm now doubting myself about how I felt about this on the face because I wouldn't put this anywhere near my face. Another petty product is the light sticks from ColourPop. Also in the video, this was a glitter bomb. It literally looked like I had glitter tears running down my face, and I did not put the concealer down my face. Not the concealer. The words. I did not put the highlight down my face. I had like just dabbed it on the like the high points of my cheeks. This was a glitter bomb, but also it just, as soon as I put it down, it just stuck in that one place and just would not move. This is a no for me. Let's talk about some lip products next. I'm not sure that these will come as a surprise to anybody, but I need to talk about them. The e.l.f. Ride or Die lip balm might be one of the worst lip balms that I've tried. And I featured a lip balm in last year's video as well. That one was pretty bad too. But this one was kind of deceiving. This one was like the slow game. I was watching Smokey Glow's video about like makeup to give to your enemy, and I would give this one to my enemy over the other one because almost immediately when you put that one on, like, you know it's going to be bad because of the texture, whereas this one feels like it's going to be nourishing up front and then over time will just destroy your lips. This I did not finish panning. I tried my best with this. Ever since talking about this on the channel, there have been so many of you who've been like, yeah, it sucks, and this is a horrible lip product. And if you know me, you know I love a lip product, and I love lip products so much. There's very few out there that I hate, and that's one of them. Another lip product that I think I'm in the minority about, and these are the Kosas wet lip oils. These are so drying on the lips. I just don't think this is a good formula, and also I just don't think lip oils are for me. These taught me that, and this just kind of represents a whole category of product that I kind of hate. Again, I think that the Merit lip oils are something special because I've worn them for days and they have not dried out my lips in the same way that these have. But if you wear these for a full day as the only lip product that you bring, you're gonna have really dry lips at the end of the day, and that's just not a look I'm going for. So the next item on the list I think might surprise some of you, and that is the Tower 28 lip gloss, but specifically in the shade Spicy. The problem with this is not the formula, it is the color. And what happens when you put this on your lips is that it becomes streaky. The moment that you apply and then you put your brush back in, it creates streaks on your lips. So your lips end up looking like this, which is not cute. And I think that the problem with this particular color is that it's different than the other ones. Like I have a couple other shades here. It's darker. And because it's darker, you see the streaks much more clearly on the lips. I do know a lot of people like this as kind of like a sheer glossy red, but in my opinion, if the other two glosses looked on the lips as streaky as this one does, there is no way that this formula would be a favorite. So my recommendation would be to skip that particular color and just go for one of the other ones that they have in the line. So let's move on to the next item, and that is the Anastasia brow gel, their dip brow gel. I did not like this. I don't like this formula. It's very stiff, doesn't deposit a whole lot of color. Now, I don't dislike this to the extent of some of the other things on here, but when I compare to even the Merit formula, the Merit formula is not as color depositing as the Glossier, so I think that it's a good comparison. These are so small, the camera's having trouble staying focused on them, but the ABH wand is more ideal in my opinion. But when we get close up here on these guys, I'm just wondering if you can see the product difference. It's too stiff to deposit. It is just dry. So it doesn't do much for the brows. I wish I could describe this formula. It's kind of putty, kind of dry, almost like they took their dip brow and then they put it in a tube, because it just doesn't grab the product well, doesn't apply onto the brows well, and it's so clumpy. I don't know if it's totally getting how clumpy this is. It's not a good product in my opinion, and just a huge miss. The next makeup product is the CoverGirl Clean Matte Pressed Powder. I was able to use this up, but this was just so chalky, so powdery. The fact that I used this up doesn't say much about it because there are very few pressed powders out there that I just can't make work. I don't know, it surprised me that this is still on the market because of how chalky it is. Just a huge disappointment. And this is like called Clean Matte. There's so much promise in that kind of line, or in even that kind of naming, Clean Matte, at the drugstore. There's not much else to say about it. The last makeup product to talk about before we move on to like some skincare things is the Hoola bronzer. I just have, you know, this part of the box left as a reminder. This bronzer is patchy and skips on the best of days. The packaging is horrible. So we already have poor performance and we have poor packaging. So it's like, is there any redeeming quality about this product? I also tried to repress it into a different pan and it did not repress and just totally crumbled. In my opinion, most powders will repress. This is the first thing I've ever tried to repress that just like hasn't worked. I don't know what the deal is with this powder, but this, in my opinion, has no redeeming qualities to it. Doesn't even come in a good shade range. Like I can't even give it that. Can't even give it a good price. This is like this is the worst bronzer I have ever tried. All right, let's move on. Let me get a couple of like quick ones out of the way. The Kopari Coconut Melt Deodorant is the single worst deodorant I have ever tried. Now, I scraped out all the product because it's coconut oil. This is literally applying coconut oil to your armpits. This is horrible. It is wet, first of all. I don't use gel deodorants because I don't like wetness under my armpits or in my armpits. And I don't have time to walk around and let it dry. And then also it's like, okay, so if you don't have time to walk around and let it dry, why is your formula not quick drying? And on top of that, if you don't have the time and you just like put on a shirt, I just feel nasty. And then we have the performance. This does nothing. This does jack shit. This deodorant has not a single redeeming quality. It's even expensive. Don't waste your money on this deodorant. It is horrible. It's equivalent, like you might as well just put nothing under your armpits. This cleansing oil from Wildcraft was so disappointing because I wanted to love this so much. And this is a makeup remover. I mean, I bought this with my own money. Okay, I just saw something on the bottom of this. If you have more knowledge about these kinds of ingredients, these kinds of things, let me know. Because I just saw that this sticker on this says 0212 and it says made on, meaning that this was made in February of 2012. I bought this year. That can't be normal. And now I'm wondering if, okay, does oil expire? Anyways, the smell was horrible. And I don't think that this is just a good application method. I get why they chose to do why they did, because it doesn't have a pump. It just has the, like a dropper. And I get it why they would want to avoid a pump, but the oil is so thin. I think in order to do this justice, they would need a thicker oil because it's so thin, it slipped through the fingers and then you couldn't apply it onto your face and there was just a lot of wasted product. And it was also like, it was a little expensive. I think it was like $18 or $20 for this like tiny bottle. I appreciate the glass packaging. I appreciate it's from a small Canadian owned business, which is why I wanted to like this product. But if you smell bad and you're not really great in the use that you've intended, it's a no from me. All right, so next up are a couple of moisturizers from Derma E. I have the Vitamin C Intense Night Cream and then the Hydrating Night Cream. These were both bad. Their Hydrating Night Cream actually dried down on the face, leaving a bit of a film, if you will. Not a film, like it actually dried down. So when you like put your like hand or your finger on your face, it was dry. Just think about how weird that is. A moisturizer with a dry down. That's not something I want in a moisturizer. There's not a single person I could recommend this to. As for their vitamin C intense night cream, this one had like a white cast to it. It just kept rubbing in and rubbing in. It wasn't good either. Not as bad as the hydrating night cream, but not good. Like actively disappointed and turned me off from the brand. I do have full reviews of these in empty, so I can link those below as well. I went back into my empty drawer to get that second moisturizer, and I found one other thing I want to talk about now. This should have come earlier, but it's coming now. This Smith's Rosebud Salve is one of the worst lip balms I've ever tried. Not as bad as the e.l.f. Ride or Die, but not hydrating. And when you call yourself a salve or a balm, to me, especially with the salve, there's an expectation of hydration and like reparative qualities. And this is so hyped up, and I can't believe how hyped it is for a product that it kind of dries out my lips. Now let me talk about one of the worst face masks I ever tried. This is the Eve Lom Rescue Mask. I tried so hard to pan this. I knew I wasn't a huge fan of this, but I tried so hard to pan it. This has a horrible smell, a horrible texture, and does not do anything for the skin. Eve Lom is an expensive AF brand, and this is the worst face mask I have ever tried. Run far away from this. Now I'm gonna mention this one sunscreen, but there's two that are really on my mind. The worst sunscreen I have ever tried is from Attitude. I'm gonna have to put the picture up here because I don't have it anymore. I decluttered it. There was more than half of the tube left. Patched up on the face, would not rub in. Horrible texture, like mattified, like you could not blend it in. The worst sunscreen I have ever tried. This, on the other hand, not as bad as the Attitude, but still not good. I'm disappointed I wasted my money on this. This has a tint to it, which I think you can see by the cap. Sunscreens that offer a tint but only offer one shade, recipe for disaster. This did not make my skin look good. It made my skin look like it had dry patches. Oily, greasy mess. All right, I just have a couple of products left. I have two skincare, which I can talk about together, and then one nail item. I'm going to talk about two of these products, but there's a third, and there's a moisturizer in here. All of them are bad. These are the Clinique Acne Solutions line. I bought a kit last December. I have the Clinical Clearing Gel and the Cleansing Foam. These were so drying. The Cleansing Foam, not great, dried up my skin. The Clearing Gel, actively, you could watch your skin dry before your eyes. Horrible. This whole line, I have no idea why it exists. I think it's objectively bad. And also considering that the price, I'm pretty sure, is more expensive than Paula's Choice for most of these things. The fact that I have to pay more money for things that are horrible when Paula's Choice exists, I would rather use drugstore. Like some of the worst, okay, hold on. This is a cleanser I don't like. I'm talking about it in this video. I would rather use this $12 cleanser than that $32 crap. While I'm here, this is the Neutrogena salicylic acid acne treatment. I am pretty far down, and I started using this in the summer. It was never great. At its best, it was mediocre. It has since, now that we're kind of in the winter months, it is so drying. I like completely stopped using it, and I'm okay to change up my skincare seasonally, but this is just not a good cleanser. Even in the summertime, my skin in the summer felt dry after using this. I don't think you should ever come out of the shower with your skin feeling tight and dry, especially not an oily skin gal like me in the heat of the summer. For this to make my skin feel like physically dry and tight means a whole lot. This was not great. I would run from this. This says it's a gentle cleanser. It's absolutely not gentle. I have been using this like on my chest and back because I do have acne there, and it's like fine there, but not for my face. And that's probably how I will continue to use this up until it's gone. The very last thing, it was a strange purchase, sorry, is the worst nail polish remover I've ever used. It's not hard to make a decent nail polish remover. This one feels like you're putting oil on your fingers. It's unpleasant to use because everything kind of feels oily and like the polish gets everywhere. But what is kind of wacko about this is that if you get this on anything, like you have like your cotton pad lightly touches the label of something, it will wipe it off. The cotton pads that I was using with this to take off nail polish came in like an orange packaging with an orange label. Half of the label has been like literally rubbed off by this because the pad touched the label once. It is the weirdest nail polish remover I've ever used. Yes, it does remove nail polish, but this is such an unpleasant experience to use. This is the Pure Nata nail polish remover. I hate, again, to talk about a small Canadian owned brand like this, but this nail polish remover is just not good and genuinely mystifies me. So those are all of the makeup misses or fails of the year. Quite a few more things than last year. I feel like I tried a lot of bad skincare this year, unfortunately. But if you watch my best of beauty, there's a lot of goodness in there. So I found a lot of great products, and I hope that, no, not I hope, it does counteract some of this not so great stuff. So that's it from me. I kind of like a little juicy tea. I would love to hear what some of the worst makeup products and beauty products were for you. Love to hear them in the comments down below. That's it from me. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you again around here soon. Bye.